All right, so we got some major news in sports today. So as you can see, quarterback Brandon Sorsby, who had bet on his own team last year in college sports, and I believe he was at Indiana as a backup, and now he got transferred to Texas Tech, and he's going to be starting because this judge granted him an injunction for the 2026. So, from my understanding, he placed quite a lot of bets on his own team, and he never bet against his own team. Now, keep in mind, this guy was a backup quarterback. So, what do you want him to do? He's obviously going to be pretty bored. He's got a competitive brain. He's going to try to get some wins here and there, use his name, image, likeness, money. And you got guys like Pat McAfee with the DraftKings helmet on his desk crying about it because he's worried that it might impact regulation on gambling, and then those gambling companies aren't going to be able to pay him enough money to personally enrich himself. So that's the only reason he cares about this bullshit. How do I personally feel about it? I think it's great. I think it not only should be legal, but it should be encouraged for athletes to bet on themselves because then they've got skin in the game. Because unfortunately, with today's culture nowadays, people just don't have the sense of pride that they used to. So the only way to really know that they care about whether they win or lose in something is if they have a financial stake. So quite frankly, I think this is a great ruling. And people were worried this ruling was going to be biased because I guess originally there was going to be a Texas judge who went to the same school that Sorsby's transferring to, and he recused himself, and a neutral judge came down with this ruling. And I actually was checking. So people are comparing this to the 1919 Black Sox scandal. This is obviously a retarded comparison because this was a match fixing where they bet against their own team and lost, and that is not what Sorsby is alleged to have done. Even a small bet against your own team, obviously, you should be banned from sports for life. So I was looking at other cases. So I had a memory of this where UFC fighters used to be able to bet on themselves because I remember many stories back in like the 2010s about it. Apparently, it was legal until 2022, where apparently they just then suddenly decided to legalize it because of like all the legalized gambling and it coming to light. So maybe it's something with like the legalizing of the apps in different cities or states or whatever. Who knows? Used to be fine. I don't really, again, if they're just betting straight up to win, who cares? If it's like, oh, knockout in the third round, okay, I could see that could be a problem because then everyone knows. I mean, it's a bad strategy, anyways. Like, if you know a guy's trying to knock you out in a specific round, then you can like try to beat him before that round. So it's really, I can see why that would be problematic, but just a straight up win, like I don't know, who cares about that? Pete Rose, another one. This guy should be in the Hall of Fame. He did nothing wrong. He bet against or he bet on his own team. He never was led to bet against it. And people are like, oh well, who knows if he was in debt, he would have done. There's no proof of that. All we have are betting slips where he bet on his own team. So I hear it. So again, it says it placed 40 bets on games involving his own team, but then it says on his own team. And so conflicting again, show me proof that he bet against them, ban him for life. But if he only bet for them, I fully support it and encourage it and think it should be legal. So hopefully this will get the ball rolling to allow that in more sports forward.